Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable week. I have had a number of challenges, but it has been a very rewarding week for me and my family. It's a lot of things to be excited about, it's a lot of things to look forward to. And I want to encourage everyone to understand that no matter where you are in your journey, that if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. Now, what I want to talk to you today about is procrastination versus perseverance. It's real simple. The equation for success is to set a path, to determine a destination, to select a path, then to apply effort, energy, and a level of flexibility to persist until you finish. So, in essence, those who procrastinate rarely experience the glory of living an extraordinary or phenomenal life, and those who persevere always reap the resources. Excuse me, always reap the harvest of what has been planted. And so, what happens? Why do people procrastinate? People procrastinate for a lot of different reasons. People procrastinate because of fear of failure, fear of what other people will say, fear of the unknown. The problem is, if when you really truly look at it and you look at it from an observational perspective, what you realize is around 40 to 60% of what you worry about never even happens. Another 15 to 20% of it really has no bearing on what you can and cannot do in this life. We give so much uh, gravity to the opinions of others. We give so much gravity to how we believe we're being viewed that we tuck ourselves away into the corners of comfort and the corners of obscurity to protect ourselves from what other people think or the possibility of not doing well, and we don't understand it. I believe it was Bob Proctor that said that he treats winning and losing the same way. They are both pathways to growth and advancement. You're going to fail in life. It's that simple. A friend of mine once said, failing is inevitable, but failure is a choice. What's the difference? See, failing is those things that you try it and it doesn't work out the way you thought it was. That happens to everybody. It's a part of the process. I have experienced it so many times I can't tell you. That's not the problem. The problem is failing is not failure until it's final. What does that mean? It failing doesn't become failure until you quit, until failing makes you shut down. You're going to fail. There's no such thing as living the perfect life. There's no such thing as the perfect plan. There's no such thing as getting it right the first time or getting it all right. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to deal with some of the mistakes. That's one thing. Another thing is there's the perfectionist uh, uh, that the perfectionist mindset that leads to procrastination. The perfectionist is the person, well, everything has to be perfect. I need a perfectly quiet environment. I don't need any distractions. I can't have phone calls. I can't have text messages. I can't have too much noise in my environment. I can't have this. I'll wait till the kids get out of the house because I've got so much to do for the kids. I'll wait for this to happen. I'm going to wait until I get this age. I don't know. It's always something that presents an idea that there's going to be a better time to do it than right now. And the truth of the matter is, the moment that something becomes a conceived idea in your head is the moment that you need to act on it. Doesn't mean that you're going to get it all done in a day. Doesn't mean that you're going to get it all done then, but you need to act on it. You need to commit yourself to it. Once you commit yourself to it, then you have to follow through on a principle that you have inculcated into your psyche, which says, if I start, I finish. See, what a lot of people look at when we talk about procrastination is the most general idea of procrastination, and that is People don't start. But see, there's another form of procrastination that's just as detrimental to your success, and that's not finishing. See, the perfectionist also has a problem with finishing. See, even if they started, they want every T dotted, every I crossed. They go back and they review it over and over again. You never see the finished product because they're trying to get it perfect. You never see, they don't understand the idea of a prototype. You put it out there. None of my books have been perfect. I came up with an idea. I did what I needed to do. I did the editing. I did the formatting. I did everything that needed to be done with the people that I work with to get it to where it needs to be. And there's always something you can add to it. There's always something you can change. There's always something you can look at and say, I wonder, will they truly get what I meant here? And then when you change it, you realize, okay, now this group might get it, but this group won't. It's never going to be where everybody likes it. That's not your job. Your job is to be as impactful as you can in the moment, because the moment is fleeting. And so what I'm doing is saying, I'm going to do the best I can with what I have right now. I'll probably look back on it 5 years from now and say, man, I did that. But what it is I did it. I finished it. I got it done. Can I improve on it? That's the beauty about anything. You can improve on something after you've done it, but what you don't want to do is sit on it. That's another form of procrastination. You've done it and you won't put it out there. You won't get out there and make it happen. You've done a business plan. You've done months and months and sometimes years and years of research on starting your business, but you won't get out there. You've done years and years of research on creating a financial plan, but you won't make a move. You've done years and years of research of wanting to improve on who you are as a person, but you won't jump out there and take the first step. You won't move. You're stuck in that start position and you won't pull the trigger. You are missing. And then there's this person over here that is probably getting 50% and 60% of the stuff right and the rest of the stuff wrong, but they're persevering. They're getting out there and they're doing the work. They're getting out there and they're taking action. And you look at them and go, oh my God, they're winning. They must be. And the thing is, they simply decide to move. They simply decide to take action. They have made up in their mind that they're not going to be idle. They're not going to allow their situations and their circumstances to stop them. You are going to have to learn how to get out of your own way, because while you're looking for perfection, while you're sitting up there and you've got this idea of how it's going to look, other people are going with it and accepting what they're able to do in the moment and giving it everything they have every day. And it doesn't look the way they thought it was going to look, but at the end of the day, they're getting it done. And you're sitting there idle and not getting anything done. But we live in a world and a culture where people have literally mastered the capacity and ability to create excuses for almost anything imaginable when it calls them out of their comfort zone, when it calls them to move in a space and a place in a manner in which they're not used to, when it calls them to give a little bit more of themselves than they've ever given before. The things that they want in life are sitting there, but they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to make the sacrifices. They don't want to go the distance. So they sit back and they back up and they come up with an excuse. Why? Well, this isn't a good time for me. Well, if I do this and this happens, and the bottom line is, if it's out there, you've got to go get it. If it's out there, you got to make it happen. If it's out there, it's not going to be out there forever. You are going to have to make up in your mind that you can go get it. You're going to have to come up with a threshold of what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing to take. That threshold is going to dictate the level of success you're going to have at any given moment. Some people don't have thresholds. Some people don't have pain thresholds. Some people don't have uh, uh, risk aversion at any level. Some people sit up and say, if I want it, I'm going for it, and I'm going to take whatever is coming. I'm going to get it. And they're going to get bumps. They're going to get bruises. They're going to get knocked down. They're going to experience setbacks. They're going to experience disappointment, but it doesn't matter to them. All that matters is that they get up and they keep going, that they keep fighting, that they keep pushing. And because one day what they realize is they're going to wake up and they're so far away from where they started that everything they've gone through is worth it. That's the beauty of getting up and putting in the work. That's the beauty of making it happen. You're going to have to persevere. Here's another thing. Some of you are left in the past. Some of you need to visit the concept of forgiveness. And here's the thing here. I want you to pay very close attention here, because I'm not big on letting people slide and slide and slide and slide, but I'm big on letting them out of my life and giving what they gave me back to them in a figurative sense. Look, hey, you did it. It's over with. I'm done. I'm not holding it against you because I don't want to carry it. But that's not who you need to be forgiving right now. You know who the number one person in this world you need to forgive? You need to forgive yourself. A bunch of you are carrying around guilt complexes for stuff you did years ago. You're carrying around guilt complexes because you thought you should have known better. You thought you should have did this. Man, if I'd have only did that, if I'd have only did this, a bunch of you doing that. And you know what you're doing in the process? You're mortgaging your future in an attempt to pay for your past. You can't do that. You can never mortgage your future to pay for your past. Your past is your past. It's there. But what you can do is you can activate every bit of potential you have in your life and actualize that potential and make your future so unbelievably extraordinary that it gives meaning to the past. It explains a journey. Look, let me tell you something. You got to start moving. Something I always said is once you discover your purpose, it will explain your pain. It will ignite passion inside of you that will drive you to places you never thought you would be willing to go. But you got to know why you're here. You got to know what you have inside of you and what you can do with it and how it will help other people besides yourself. But you're going to have to stop procrastinating. You're going to have to stop sitting there thinking that you can wish your way into something, cross your fingers into something, and happen upon something. You're going to have to get up in the morning and you have to go out and get it. You're going to get up in the morning and you're going to have to take some steps, take some actions, make some moves. You're going to have to be willing to experience some setbacks, some disappointments, some frustrations, some delays. I tell people all the time, delay does not mean denial. It does not mean that it's not going to happen. It means it's not happening now, and you're going to have to push harder. You're going to have to be more patient. You're going to have to be more persistent. You're going to have to persevere. It's that simple. You're not going to get out of that. It's no way you're going to break free of that. You're going to have to make moves. It's that simple. Stop procrastinating. Stop coming up with excuses why it can't be done and do it. That's it. That's the difference between the people who get on in this world and the people who don't. You get up and you go out and you do it. You don't wait on the perfect timing. You don't wait on the perfect situation. You don't wait on the perfect opportunity. They don't exist. You make them perfect by the amount of energy, effort, and time you put into it, and you perfect them by completing them. When you go back into the ancient understanding of perfection, it wasn't everything was absolutely right. It was that it was completed. It was done. It had been perfected. That is what your responsibility is to reach perfection by completion. By finishing something, by starting and finishing something and moving on to the next thing and starting and finishing it. And over time, you will look up. When I wrote my first book, I had no idea I would be sitting here today writing book number 25. Never, that wasn't on my mind. My mind was writing what I said I was going to do in high school. When I wrote The Invisible Father as an article, I said I'm going to one day finish it and put all I have into it and write a book. And I had so many things going on in my life, and they were good things. I was successful. I was doing the thing in business and athletics and all that stuff. And then I said, man, it's time to stop and do what I said I was going to do. And so I wrote the book and I got in. And I'm gonna tell you, like I said, when you discover your purpose, it will explain your plan. It will also drive you in ways you never thought. I wrote my first book with pen, not with a keyboard. I type over 100 words per minute, but I wrote my first book with a pen, and it was purposely done. I wrote it with a pen. And I am consumed and I enjoyed it. So that's a level of determination because I can type so much faster than I can write. But I felt every word as I wrote it. I envisioned every word and I thought about how it was going to change lives, how it was going to inspire people, how it was going to encourage people, how it was going to challenge people, and that it had a place in this world that was going to bless people. And it drove me. And that's how I got started. Then I said, okay, here's the next one. And then I realized, man, I've got so much in me. I'm going to be doing this a while. This is going to be a part of who I am. And by book 3, I understood. I don't know where this is going to stop, but I'm going to keep going. And then by book 12, I'm like, okay, I'm just getting started. But it started with me starting the first book and finishing. I'm challenging you to break that curse of procrastination. It has shut you down for long enough. It has stopped you from being everything that you're capable of being. And what I want to do is I want to work with you to help you stop. There are some proven principles to getting past procrastination. I have helped, matter of fact, that's probably one of the top impediments that people come to me with is they don't know how to start or they have problems finishing. And they come to me and I teach these principles. It's real simple. We're going to learn new habits of thought, new habits of behavior, new habits of speech. We're going to learn how to put those things into motion and movement over a 30-day period. It's called the Breaking the Curse of Procrastination Masterclass. If you're serious about changing and you know that procrastination is your issue, it's not just going to magically disappear. You're not going to wish it away. It's a behavior that has literally been inculcated into your psyche and it's a part of your behavioral habits. You are a habitual procrastinator. You're going to have to break the habit. The best way to break the habit is to replace the habit with new habits of thought, new habits of behavior, new habits of speech. There's a process you go through. There is a place where you can get this done in 30 days. Let me help you do that. The link is in the description box. But whatever you do, it's time to take action. On this note, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. My challenge to you is to do the same thing. Do not take your gift, your potential, and your value to the grave untapped. On that note, I'm out of here. Everybody have an unbelievable day.